Hello and welcome to Cuisine. It's a college cooking show about creating simple meals for a college budget. Today we're going to go on an Asian adventure. We're going to do 5 courses. First we're going to do a vegetable tempura, then we're going to move on to a stir fry. We're going to learn how to make a Japanese shrimp sauce, an Asian green bean salad, and then a sesame noodle side dish kind of deal. So come with me, we're going to Asia. Konnichiwa. So we're going to move on to a vegetable tempura. It's basically like a fried vegetable, kind of like a lot of fried onions or fried carrots, or it's just a real staple, especially in Southern Asia. To do that, we're going to start with some just regular all-purpose white flour. We've got a cup of that. To that, we're going to add about half a cup of corn flour or cornmeal. Kind of mix those up a little bit. And into that, we've got some really cold sparkling water. You're going to add that. The colder the better. We're looking for like a real thin pancake batter kind of mixture. So keep adding that until it gets real thin. It's going to work to coat a couple vegetables that we'll cut up. I've actually prepped some already, so we'll look at that. Alright, as you can see, the batter is real thin. We want that because it's just going to coat the vegetables and then they're going to go straight into a hot oil. Speaking of which, I've got a hot oil going. It's about 350 degrees. It's really hot. Be careful with hot oil. It'll burn you. It's not good. Please don't go to the emergency room because you saw Cuisine. So I've got that batter. I'll set that aside. I've already begun to cut up vegetables. Here we've got some onions I've already prepped, some carrots that have been taken care of. And a yam, or as I like to call, a yazam. So we'll keep cutting this in about 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch slices. The thinner the better, but if you go too thin, it'll cook way faster than you want it to, so it's no good. And as I finish that up, we'll move over to the stove. I'll grab those. At the stove, I've got a pan covered with just any regular paper towel. That'll work to drain the excess oil on the vegetables and whatnot after we fry them. So first we're going to take a yam and we're just going to add it to the batter, kind of coat it. And you'll see it's real thin. Then you'll just drop it right into the oil. It's kind of loud, it's kind of scary. I get really scared when I do this. You'll let that cook for a little while. I'm going to do a bunch of them at a time, just because we've got the space. Please, please, please be careful, because it is really, really hot. Now these things will start to float a little bit when they're ready. On one side, they'll come up a little bit. Just kind of keep an eye on them. I like to do all the yams together, all the carrots, and all the onions together just because they tend to cook around the same amount of time. And when you do different vegetables, they may cook differently. So I'm just going to keep going with these. As you can see, like they've started to float up a little bit. That kind of gives you the sign that they're ready to be flipped. Be careful when you're flipping them. Dealing with hot oil is just dangerous, period. So be really careful, please. Once again, I'm kind of scared at this one. I don't like it. They're really good, but really scary to make. So just keep doing this, one vegetable at a time. I'm doing yams, we'll move on to carrots and then probably onions. Onions tend to take the least amount of time to cook. but they're all really good. I've started draining the ones we've already done. As you can tell, they're really greasy. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast, I guess. But keep going with them. They're really good. They can be a little scary. If you get the oil too hot, it'll start really fizzing up and splattering all over the place, so please be careful. But we'll keep moving on, and we'll see you in a few. So I'm going to finish out these the last few onions. We've moved them over to a drying towel area kind of we've set aside. With that, these onions and all the vegetables, tempura is a real thin batter. It's not supposed to be real thick like your onion rings you would expect from like a fast food restaurant or a southern onion ring by any means. It's a real thin, light batter. So if it looks real thin, you're doing a good job. If it looks real thick, your batter's probably way too thick. This will go great with anything, any kind of sauce like a soy sauce, or later we're going to learn how to make a shrimp sauce. It's a Japanese shrimp sauce. It'll go great with that. So keep that up, keep them going, and I hope you enjoy. We'll get those out and we'll move on. See you in a few.